I woke up one day and decided to challenge myself as a Pokemon Nuzlocke. I settled on the infamous Emerald Kaizo and made it my mission to play the best that I possibly could. No battle items, no EVs, and the AI was always on high. This is how it went. So whenever I play Pokemon Emerald, I usually go for the starter Pokemon Trico. However, I try to think further ahead in the gameplay, and I just knew deep in my heart that despite my love for the grass type, Mudkip would be the best option. Except he was a mild nature. And so with that, I have to just go out into the wild and start grinding away before I get some Pokeballs. Looks like there's a lot of baby options out here, possibly. Once I fast forward to the point when I do get Pokeballs, I walk out into the route and I actually encountered an Igglybuff, which isn't too bad. The only issue with the babies is that they evolve with friendship, but you know, it'll be pretty decent in the long run, and this is probably a Pokemon that I would like to teach Strength to, since it'll also get the stab bonus. So overall, not a bad pick. I also really have a soft spot for Wigglytuff, thanks to the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. So I went over to Verdanturf, and I found a freaking Charmander, which was amazing. Very, very rare encounter over here. I went for the bubble, because I thought that it wouldn't kill, and it didn't. I risked the tackle, and thankfully the risk paid off, because it just barely lived it, so I swap out into Igglybuff here. I got the Infatuate, which was actually pretty hilarious, so, you know, Igglybuff is nice and safe for this turn to get off a Sing, and I have 5 Pokeballs to catch a starter Pokemon, 3, excuse me, and the first one failed, second one also failed, so it's down to the wire here, and I caught the Charmander. Absolutely amazing. On the next route, I caught a Wingull, which isn't a bad Pokemon, don't get me wrong, but seeing as I already have a Water-type Pokemon on the team, it could have been something a little bit better. I heard Poochyena was broken in this game, but I'll definitely take a Flying type. The only issue with training up the Wingull is that the Mareep in this grass are pretty strong, and in the next route over, you know, later on I discovered there's Pichu, so I have to do a lot of switch training with the Wingull, and even when he's strong enough to sort of take out Pokemon by himself, I really just can't risk fighting any of these electric type Pokemon. Ekans are here in the grass for me to grind up against as well, but with Intimidate, you know, my wing attack isn't going to do as much, and it is still a really difficult battle early on, so grinding, I have to be incredibly careful, I have to be 100% awake and alert, and I have to look out for risky situations. Thankfully, Wingull made it out alive this time, and I have to heal every time. So then going on to the next route, I walk into the grass and I found a Spinarak, which is really fucking hilarious too. You know, we had a Spinarak in, I believe it was the Heart Gold game that I was playing, or maybe it was a ROM hack that I played with you guys. The poison is actually really, really dangerous here. I did buy antidotes because I had a feeling, and we caught the Spinarak. So here we have my very first trainer battle after the May battle, which I actually went ahead and skipped because with a level 8 Mudkip, I ran through it pretty quickly. He's leading off with a level 6 Sentret, and I'm, you know, feeling pretty confident with my Wingull. I didn't expect Pokemon to have Quick Attack for some reason, just because that's not what I'm used to, but Sentret wasn't a problem at all, even though it got a, you know, nice 5 HP damage off. Zigzagoon could be problematic because he has Swift as well as Sand Attack, and Swift did a little bit more damage than I would have liked, but you know, we are pretty similar levels, so it is what it is. I was debating whether to go for a tackle or a bubble here, and I settled for the tackle, and the Sand Attack made my 95 accurate tackle miss, and Mudkip is at risk of dying, so I really can't risk that here. I go out into Igglybuff because that is the Pokemon that I absolutely trust for swallowing hits, and she did, so good for her. Level 10 just because she is a baby Pokemon, and she will be this way for quite a while. Takes down the Zigzagoon, and here we have Poochyena. Thankfully, I don't have to worry about dark moves yet, but it does have Super Fang. I read up that Poochyena in this game have an ability that triples the offensive power of dark moves, and I don't know why I went for a Pokeball here. I was speeding up, really just kind of started spamming buttons, and Igglybuff is about to die because of that. So Charmander comes in to save the day, and that was Trainer Calvin. Believe it or not, the rest of the trainers actually weren't that big of an issue for my level 10 team, so I go on to the next town, and I find a Corphish, which normally I would be happy about. I don't know if he gets that broken dark type ability later on, but this is our 3rd water type, so really not too excited about it, but later on if we did get a grass type Pokemon, this would be a good area to grind. So moving on to my next encounter, I'm looking for something juicy, don't know what to expect, and I found a Mareep, which actually, typing-wise, is different, so I really like it, and I personally am a fan of Ampharos. I am aware that it's not one of the best electric-type Pokemon, but you know, early game, it can take hits kind of decently, and just having that electric typing as fast as possible is really great, so thankfully I caught it. So this is the team so far. I caught an Nidoran female, but I lost the footage, and I actually got smacked up by a Magikarp. It bodied Wingull and Mudkip, and I'm struggling with this Love Disc. This is the fisherman trainer on the little beach area right before the forest. Of course, I skipped the Wally tutorial, and this Love Disc with the Sweet Kiss and the dive. I think it was Magikarp with the bounce, and that's how my Mudkip got paralyzed. I'm just taking damage left and right. I risk it here. Igglybuff lived, thankfully, on 1. So no death yet, but I definitely cannot afford to risk it again, and I'm struggling to see how I'm going to really hit any of his Pokemon thus far. I don't even know how I managed to kill the Magikarp. Thankfully though, because of Spinarak's speed stat, I was able to land a Mega Drain off right there. I'm going to go ahead and miss this pursuit. He's going to go ahead and hit me with the dive once more, and I'm going to knock it out, and I believe that was his last Pokemon here. Yeah. Alright, so trainers are really difficult. I have to heal every single time. But the next encounter was a Pineco, which, with the Spinarak, you know, hilarious because it looks like we're getting all of our different meme Pokemon. And this Pineco seems significantly stronger than the Pineco we used to explode on a ghost type. Because it actually has pin missiles. So, you know, hopefully I can catch this thing. And if I did, we would have a really strong bug type in the back. I have 2 Pokeballs because I'm an idiot and I didn't go stock up like I was supposed to, so I really have to hope that I can catch this thing, because if I ever, you know, decide to put Spinarak in the box, or God forbid it dies, this would be a fantastic option, and I can't wait to see what other kind of great moves that it can learn in this game. So then fast forwarding to the Team Magma Grunt battle, he leads with a Magnemite, which is not the best matchup for my Spinarak. So I decided to go for Nidoran here because Nidoran has double kick on it, and it's doing big damage to me. Honestly, I'm already in the yellow and paralyzed, so I'm not really going to do too much against this Coughing, but I decided to go for an attack anyways because I am aware that Coughings, in this game use Toxic Stall tactics, so I get out as much damage as I possibly can before I go for another Pokemon. He gets a free Thief there when I thought he was going to protect, but Coughing's out of the way. So next comes Houndour, and at first I wasn't really sure why he went in for a fire type Pokemon, but it managed to get a good amount of dark type damage off against me, and a Bagon comes out, which I definitely don't expect anybody to have a dragon at this point in the game. So I go for Wingull, which I was able to trust to do a lot of damage, and holy crap, it was so clutch to get that crit there because he definitely would have died. That was not the smartest play on my move. On my end, and I was trying to look to see what Igglybuff could possibly do. I thought maybe if I could put the Duskull to sleep, and then I could safely switch into something else to do some damage. I decided to go for Spinarak here because Spinarak actually knows Pursuit. I'm not really sure how his special offense is looking because all Dark-type moves in Gen 3 are special. This Duskull has leftovers, which is actually a lot better than a berry, you know. I would prefer a Pokemon to have leftovers than to have something like a Citrus Berry. So after a very annoying fight, I managed to take down the Duskull. Moving on to these twins, who can be very problematic for people as well. I lead with my Mudkip and my Charmander. Obviously, I have to run back to the Pokemon Center every single battle, so my team is nice and healed. And at this point, I also started stocking up on Pokeballs, making sure I never have less than 5 on me at all times. And I'm trying to just focus on one Pokemon. Charmander manages to hit through the confusion, and so does Mudkip, so we get some good amount of damage. And so from what I can gather, it seems like the Pokemon on the right is the one that does all the attacking, while the Smeargle on the left does healing and other sorts of annoying tactics. But with Follow Me, you know, Smeargle number 2 can potentially hit off its focus punches, and thankfully I knock it out right away. So this second Smeargle, or first Smeargle, it's really confusing me at this point, shouldn't be that difficult at all. Just takes a couple of hits and the twins are done. But now the real challenge, Pokemon Trainer Red. Here, expecting this battle to come, because I have played this once. I stopped at like the 3rd gym. I knew that I had to be as over leveled as possible for this battle, because if I was level 9 and he was level 9, he would win every single time. Citrus Berry Pop, thanks to Nidorann's powerful double kick. It is cursing a lot, which can be very, very dangerous, but I managed to kill it before it goes to sleep and snores me, because I remember what a scary nightmare that was for the first time I ever played this game. So I'm trying to decide what to really do here. I know that he can't poison me, I can't poison it, poison stings neutral. I decided to go for bite after taking a look at my stats, remembering that it's special, and I did actually get the flinch off, but he has the berry juice. And keep in mind, at this point in time, 1, I don't have any berries, or I probably have like 2 orange berries, but 2, I didn't equip them to anybody, and I don't know why. You know, I was probably being really sparing with them as I could. I'm trying to get off as much damage against the Charmander as I can before I swap, but you know, with the Will-O-Wisp, I just can't risk it because I know I'll die to the burn regardless. So I go into the Mudkip predicting the fire type move, and I hit it for a nice water gun for a 1-shot. Pikachu comes out though, and Pikachu's going to be problematic because I know it knows a lot of special moves. So I go for Spinarak, who has the Mega Drain on him, and he gets paralyzed turn 1, turn 2 he gets hit with a Shockwave. So I go for the Toxic to try to, you know, kill it in the long run. I'm trying to think in the future here. Surf does half of my remaining life, but I get a critical hit Leech Life and take out the Pikachu and regain my health here. So I go for the Mega Drain, you know, I get freaking flinched and I get paralyzed and hit with the Water Pulse, so it's time to swap. Expecting a Water Pulse here, I go for the Mudkip, which I tank, and don't get confused, which is the key part. Now Yawn in this game actually gets buffed, so it's not a 2-turn effect. I get put to sleep right away. And again, I'm trying to maximize my Pokemon's utility here. I'm trying to get in as much damage as I can, and I miss a fucking tackle again. Dude, what the hell? So I go into the Wingull. Wingull, I was able to trust. I got to level 16 by accident just because he does that much damage, so I leave him in. So I pop the berry juice for the Squirtle. I get put to sleep as well, and I'm really, really hoping that I can kill him before he kills me. I have to wake up here. He's biting away. It's really getting too close for comfort, and I thankfully have that quick attack to finish things off. That was Trainer Red. And this is how bad he left my team. We have a lot of work to do. So I go out into the wild, out into the route above Rust Turf, and I find a Makuhita, poison it with Spinarak, easy catch. I also found a Chimecho, so it looks like we have all the memes. The only Pokemon we're really missing is Nosepass, and we'll have all the meme Pokemon, which is honestly kind of dope. It's a little frustrating that I couldn't get something a little bit more usable, or so I thought. This Chimecho actually gave my entire team a lot of problems with its, you know, hacks. So Chimecho might be really, really amazing choice here, and I'm really trying to catch it. I go for the Premier Ball, and it's a special girl. Seedot is out here, and it's a grass type. You know, I believe this was in the grass inside of Rust Turf because, you know, the game creators put grass inside of every town and city so we can have extra encounters. Thankfully, I don't kill it there. Mind you, this grass area actually turns out to be a really amazing spot to grind, and you'll see why in a little bit. I go for the Pokeball here with the Red Life and the Paralysis. I easily catch the Seedot, and I'm just kind of grinding away, trying to get Chimecho up to a proper level. It's really, really easy for me to level up everybody here. Chimecho can deal with them very quickly with its Psy-Wave. Wingull can body them pretty easily with this wing attack, and so on and so forth. Charmander was able to get up to a good level here as well. And sorry for that pause, I don't know what the hell I was doing. I was playing this on speed up, but I slowed down the footage for you guys because that kind of hurts my eyes to look at for long periods of time. So I'm just really going in here and doing my damn thing, trying to get ready for Roxanne the best that I possibly can. Bars. This is absolutely crazy. So I was in the middle of grinding everybody, and wouldn't you know it, I found not just a fucking shiny, but a shiny starter. And I'll put the numbers up for you guys in a bit. Estimated numbers, of course, because every starter are very rare encounters, and I was just blown away. This is my all-time favorite grass type Pokemon, so I was being really careful, and thankfully I stocked up on hella Pokeballs, so I was confident I can get it. The problem is, you know, can I not kill it? And thankfully I get it just into the red, trusting the power of my Igglybuff. I kind of eyeballed it. I don't really like to use the Pokemon calculator all that much, so I throw a Premier Ball, because Premier Balls celebrate special occasions, and this is one hell of a special occasion, and I caught it. I might have named it Lucky, might not have named it at all, who knows. So later on, you know, I'm just grinding up the Mudkip in that route up north against the fat man up here, the little hiker Devin. And as you can see, we got Mudkip up to level 16, so it was time for an evolution. Really good stuff. So we have a Marsh Stomp, and that ground typing is actually going to be really clutch for us going forward. And we also now finally have immunity to electric types. So I go against the first gym trainer just to see really where I'm at, not level-wise, but strength-wise. I take the core fish with me after I grinded it up in a much earlier route. And I think it was in the patch of grass with all the fire type Pokemon where I caught the Charmander. Geodude, no problem. Sudowoodo, however, can be definitely an issue for me, especially because he has the Citrus Berry here, so he essentially got a free Calm Mind while I did nothing. I get the Speed Drop here, he pays me back with another Speed Drop, and it looks like we're doing about equivalent damage to one another. I was really worried here. I honestly could have gone for another water attack, but with that second Speed Drop, I just wasn't confident, and I wanted to play this as safe as possible, so I go for the Marsh Stomp, trusty starter Pokemon. A Zubat comes out though, so there goes my ground options, and I actually forgot that all Zubats in this game have Giga Drain. Not Absorb, not Mega Drain, Giga Drain, quad effective. Very powerful move. What is it, like base 80 or something? So I go for Chimecho for the super effective psychic attack, and trying to see what comes out next is an Omanite, which I really didn't expect, but I like the fact that there's fossils in here. So I get the paralysis off first and foremost because, you know, Chimecho's the hacks god, and that bite is, I did not expect, but I managed to take it out. So seeing I needed a lot more work done to my team, I leveled up Charmander to the point that it evolves, and I didn't use him at all. So first up, she leads with the Nose Pass, which I definitely didn't expect. I go for the Metal Claw, trying to be wary of the heal item that it's holding so I can one-shot it, or I guess not one-shot, but you know, kill it with the Bubble Beam. Lileep comes out, and it's a grass type, so I know it's going to Giga Drain, so I go for the Poison type Nidorina, newly evolved by the way. And I'm really trying to decide how I want to take this on. I have Poison type moves, I have, you know, potential damage with Bite, but I'm also not really confident in my special attack with Bite. I don't know where Nidorina's sitting with all of that. And I also have access to Double Kick, so I'm really trying to weigh my options here. In the end, I actually decided to go for Double Kick because I am starting to remember how much damage it does, and I thankfully got the poison point off. Citrus Berry comes in to heal, but I still have the poison off, and I got that really nice crit on that second attack. So that actually saved me a lot of trouble. Lunatone coming in with its Psychic type moves, and I don't really know what I want to go for exactly. I decided to go for Chimecho because Psychic resists Psychic here, and thankfully I got that good prediction, but I got confused, which is horrible. So I go for Safeguard to prevent any more yawns or any sort of confusion like that, and I try to go off for Thunder Wave, which I managed to do. But it has a Lumberry, so really that was just a wasted turn. Thankfully, I, one, got another one off, and two, didn't get hit with any of these confusions except for right now. Now I'm in the red and haven't really accomplished much, and it's not being paralyzed whatsoever. It's actually really annoying, and Safeguard wore off now, so I want to kill this thing, and it's starting to go for the Hypnosis. Thankfully I dodged that first one. Moonlight, kind of annoying, and it's really more frustrating that it isn't getting paralyzed a single time. Like, what the actual hell was the point of Chimecho's sacrifice? Not legitimate sacrifice, but you know what I'm talking about. So Lunatone goes down, and now I have an Anorith. I don't think it has anything for me to worry about. I go for that ground type move, and I thankfully take it out there. I didn't realize that bug resisted ground, so it was nice and neutral. I stay in against the Relicanth, and thank God I missed, or it missed the yawn, because I would have really shit myself there. I don't think I can wake up from this, so I'm gonna have to try to switch. No, I decided not to, actually, JK. Now I have to switch. There we go. Good commentary here. And I get fucking paralyzed on the first hit, and Rock Throw, and I get fully paralyzed. So I'm down to just half my team left, and Charmeleon obviously can't do anything. I go for that powerful Thunder Double Kick. Wow, I cannot speak. Relicanth is gone, finally, but Nidorina doesn't have that much life left, and I have to deal with the bulky Shuckle, and is cursing. I'm 6 levels above this thing, not doing anything. So I start to go for Crunch, because in this generation, Curse doesn't boost your special defense, so big brain plays for me here. I was also kind of low-key hoping for a special defense drop. I think Crunch does that. Citrus Berry pops, So now it's back to square one, and it starts a sunny day. I'm really concerned for what's going to come next, and I see the rollout. Thankfully, I got the poison point activated, and so I go into my nose pass here. I was saving it this whole time for a rock move that I couldn't, you know, take with any other Pokemon. Magnitude 8 did absolutely nothing, and it's doing so much damage to nose pass. I'm scared, but I got it in range for the seismic toss. GG, Gym Leader Roxanne. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was my first gym badge. Oh my god, this was incredibly difficult, and I'm really not looking forward to the rest of this stuff. Also, I skipped the May battle because it was easy, but which was kind of sad because she had 3 freaking starter Pokemon, Charmander, Totodile, and Grovyle. But yeah, on our way to gym number 2. I'll see you next time, people.
Turn your appearance to a disappearance. I fuck with nothing but gangsters, nothing but hustler niggas. Sound off, sound off.